Okay, we are live.
Okay, welcome to PorkchopSandwich.es weekly podcast. Um, I'm your co-host, owner of the site, Amir Lampe, Obi-Wan Jacoby. I'm known as Porkchop Sandwiches on Twitter. That's all in the description. And then I have here with me today.
I am Mitchel Kenward, the other co-host of the podcast. You know me as The Awkward Mage, at The Awkward Mage on Twitter and on YouTube. I'm the Porkchop Sandwiches resident Nintendo nerd, as they put it.
I like to put the director of Nintendo, but if that's too fancy for you, that'll no.
Hey, I'll take it.
Okay, so we've got a small outline of what we're going to talk about today. Actually, we're going to start with Pokemon Bank, which was released in Japan very recently.
Yes, yesterday, in fact, December 25th, but it didn't last long. From what we know, the server was overloaded, and because of there was too many players online at the time, so what they did was they removed it from the eShop. Now, that doesn't seem so bad, but now our release date was supposed to be here in the United States and Europe was supposed to be December 27th, tomorrow, at the time of recording. However, due to the server overload, they released a new statement. Now the release date is going to be determined yet, so we don't know what's going to happen.
So basically, they're holding our previous generation Pokemon hostage.
Yes. Basically, the Pokebank will not allow, or it doesn't filter for hacked Pokemon. So now we have all these Japanese players that had the Pokebank for, a short amount of time, the Poke Transfer from previous generations. It's not going to filter new hacked Pokemon. So we're running around here on Wi-Fi battling perfect Pokemon with all shiny and perfect stats, and we're over here with what we can manage to train up, and they're just going to obliterate us. It's also not helping that they can get any Pokemon they want for their Pokédex. Now, that's been flooding Wonder Trade. I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
Multiple Chimchars in your case.
Yes, I happened to get myself 2 Chimchars. One with a hidden ability. That was nice. Iron Fist boosts punching attacks by 20%. Heck yeah. So basically, we just... it's a bit of a delay, and I just don't know when we'll hear next news about that. Nintendo seems to be a little
I hate the thing that always frustrates me is when instead of just like giving a date at all, they just say to be announced when it's already so close to when it was supposed to happen. That's always just bothered the hell out of me, because I'm pretty sure they did that with Halo 2 before it came out. That game was delayed so many times.
Well, Nintendo isn't usually bad with that kind of thing. Only certain games, like I think it was the last one that was really like a major sort of release date kind of held back was Kid Icarus Uprising, I believe. I don't know if that actually got held back or not.
I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a while back.
Kid Icarus Uprising.
I liked it, but that's me. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So
I guess before I go onto my Steam sale tangent, we should talk about the reason why you don't have anything to say about the Steam sale.
Oh yes. So I'm sure I can't be the only one who kind of had their account compromised by a hack that happened recently at a chain shopping mall known as Target. You might have heard of it.
Superstore, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got screwed.
40 million people from, I think the dates were November 27th to all the way through to December 15th. Anyone who shopped and used their card in that time were in the system, which allowed their accounts to be open to access to whoever hacked it. Now, I was talking to my bank teller, and they were saying that if anyone does something like this, they can easily sell the accounts that they compromise for less than a penny a piece, and they can use their clients can use those accounts, and they're still going to get a giant profit out of it.
Yeah, knowing them, they're probably selling it through Bitcoin on like the Onion router or something.
Yeah, that's possible. But even selling at less than a penny, they're still making a giant profit off 40 million accounts. And then even if the account that, like, I got wind of it and I closed my account, say someone bought my account, I don't know if they did or not, I have to check yet. Say they did and I closed my account, they're only missing out on a penny.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a win-win for the hacker and their clients.
It's not even that big of a lose for people who buy the accounts.
Exactly. And then so my card is closed and I don't have any money on my Steam account, so that makes it so that I only participated in about the first day of the Steam holiday sale. And I'm sure I can't be the only one.
I'm sure you're not the only one either. Actually, the thing that's most that makes Target look bad is the fact that it was a social engineering attack. It was someone who actually worked for them on the IT side of things.
Okay, so that's something new that I didn't hear about. That's interesting. Wow, yeah, that changes the story a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, but on to the Steam sale. Now, time to load up my Steam profile. I got plenty of things. Well, let's just talk about the sale right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill me in.
There are snow globes in terms of the Steam trading thing going on. I've never been like big on it, but I know some people are obsessed with Steam trading cards, and good for you guys. These snow globes, what you do is you vote on what goes on sale every 8 hours, and every time you vote, that's one vote is 33%, well 33.333% of a snow globe. So if you're there to vote every 8 hours, you can easily get a bunch of snow globes.
Yeah, you mentioned something about that, and I said it was very similar to the system. This is more defined, but they had a very similar system to the summer sale.
Well, in terms of what's on sale, including a bunch of indie titles, like numerous, like tons. Actually, I'm looking at Hotline Miami right now, and actually, I would say buy that one. That's another one that it's worth it. It's $2 right now. Well, not right now. It's not gonna be $2 for you guys, I don't think. Well, it might be, but right now, as of 3:50 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday, December 26th, Hotline Miami's on sale for $199. That's 80% off. Totally worth it. You need to buy this guy's game. Get him off the street. Well, he's not on the street, but he's not doing financially well. And he deserves a Merry Christmas. But there's there's AAA titles that are on sale. There's a few things that are not necessarily finished that are also, they're not on sale, but they're able to be purchased. And actually, I want to go into detail on that, but first I'm going to read off my little list of stuff that I got.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so let's start it off at the top with Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. That's like everything I've ever wanted out of Age of Empires. I just wanted Age of Empires 2 in widescreen without having to change my color depth to 256 colors. That's all I've ever wanted, and this pretty much answers that. That, and I don't have to deal with the broken multiplayer of old disc Age of Empires 2.
Oh,
I bet you remember that. If you made a game large enough, it would totally lag out. Actually, this game still brings a computer to its knees if you got like 1,000 population and 10 players, and it's fairly it's fairly crazy. Next on my list that I got was Batman Arkham City, Game of the Year. Very well reviewed. Sort of semi open world game. It's not a very large area, but Arkham City is it's reasonably sized, free roam sort of deal. Got your missions. I believe it's made with Unreal Engine, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
It's Unreal Engine, and actually sort of in the same way that Unreal Engine was implemented on
it wouldn't be far-fetched
on Mass Effect. Kind of similar to that. In fact, even the talking segments, like, you could totally tell that's like, it looks like Commander Shepard in a Batman suit.
Oh God.
Which
so it's a little obvious there.
I'm Batman, and this is my favorite store in Gotham.
Oh, God.
Also bought Battlefield 2 Complete Collection because I ain't buying that shit on Origin.
There it is.
Yeah, you can't see me giving them a middle finger, but I am. We try to be completely unbiased here at Porkchop sandwiches. No, Origin's terrible. I went through the trouble of like looking through forum posts to figure out how to get Steam Overlay working on Battlefield 4, and I finally did. But I can't use the 64-bit executable, which kind of sucks.
Aw.
So, sad face. Well, it's not really part of the Steam sale, but I did purchase Battlefield 4 from GameStop for $29 when it was on sale there. And I regret it because the very, next morning, they were selling it on Origin for $19 with a coupon code.
Oh, that's not good.
So I was kind of screwed, but what are you going to do?
That's unfortunate.
I purchased BioShock Infinite for several people.
Definitely a good thing.
It's definitely worth it. Excellent game. It's one of the AAA titles that it's legitimate, all the praise that you get from it, and even the complaint of how short the story is, and it is 10 hours of playtime.
I would almost go so far as to say that it's worth the immersion at the cost of some of the gameplay time.
Yeah, it is. It really is. If I could have just one more thing from it, it would have to be just more time to be completely immersed. All the reviewers on YouTube, they hit it spot on, especially Pro Jared. Elizabeth as a secondary character, as your helper, you don't have to worry about her you don't have to worry about Alex Vance that much in Half-Life 2, but she does leave your party a lot.
Okay. Yeah, because I haven't gotten very far into it, but I do know from what I have played that it was definitely she's more of a help than a hindrance.
Yeah, I liked having her, and even not just looking past the part where she's throwing you ammo and stuff, very useful. As her character development, it's very interesting to see how she plays out. And even Booker DeWitt, your actual main character, I actually found it kind of interesting that you're playing in a kind of second person where you're looking through his eyes, but you're not necessarily in control of his emotions or anything. It's not
right.
Not like a Mass Effect where you can control your reactions. He's gonna react how it is, regardless of whether you're teabagging a dead body or not. But I like the way Irrational pulled it off. Irrational is really, really great people working on it. Coming from BioShock 1, it's differences night and day, and not even no pun intended, because BioShock Infinite, I'm pretty sure BioShock 1, I'm pretty sure took place during the night the whole time.
Okay.
BioShock Infinite, I was kind of hoping there would be realistic progression of time, but that's asking a little too much. But that's okay. They gave enough variety where there was night environments, there was day environments. It was very satisfying. Probably the best $10 I've spent in a very, very long time. Actually, I would go as far as saying it's worth $30.
Yeah, the full
right
price.
Now.
Yeah.
I felt less reluctant giving up that money for BioShock Infinite than I did giving up money for Skyrim, honestly.
Wow.
And they're not even you can't really compare them the same way, but it was.
But out of personal preference.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
There it is.
I also purchased few legacy Half-Life games. I actually bought the Half-Life Complete Collection off of GameFly because it was cheaper than getting the few Half-Life 1 games that I was missing. And I'm pretty satisfied with that. And Half-Life Source is a must. Half-Life Opposing Force. That's actually... Half-Life Opposing Force is one of the early Gearbox titles.
Oh, wow.
I've always been a fan of Gearbox. Especially their development of Halo on the PC. Halo Custom Edition, especially.
Oh, so they were involved with that too.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They did the PC development of it.
I do like Gearbox.
Damn good job. Gearjob. Gearbox is also involved in very popular Borderlands 2.
That's how I know them.
Mm-hmm. I'd say the only thing that I'm not satisfied with from Gearbox is Duke Nukem Forever, but I mean, that game was so overhyped,
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that it was a well-made game because it's fucking terrible, but although when you really play it, it's almost, it's totally strange how much trouble they went to with the detail. Like, you can pick up the weights, you can mix and match the weights on the weight rack, and then, like, if you put a certain amount of weight on the weight rack, Duke gets, like, testosterone points or something. I forget what they're called. Like, they add stuff like that, or you can hide stuff in lockers. They add all this little stuff, but they missed the entire picture.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, certain, like... Actually, I'll sum it up in, like, one thing. Watch yourself jump in the mirror while you don't have any weapons equipped. You look like a freaking... Whoa, you just look stupid. It's like you... If I wish you guys could see me jumping, it's like this. You're like being a ballerina. It's like, it's stuff like that they overlooked.
Believe
while,
me, folks, that was a
while
sight to
circle
see.
jerking about the weight rack. It's... Okay, end rant with that. Where was I? Oh, because I was talking about Gearbox, Half-Life Opposing Force. If you have not bought this, please buy it. It is... I feel like it's a more condensed version of the Half-Life campaign.
Okay.
Actually, there's a little bit of a cult following of people who want Valve to bring back Adrian Shepard, Corporal Adrian Shepard, the main character of Half-Life Opposing Force, and I'm actually supporting of that. I think that they should give him a revisit while they work on, that number Half-Life game where they're allergic to Half-Life 3. I'm sorry, I just got sniped by Gabe Newell.
Oh, there he goes.
There's some... Actually, how about we figure out what the hell happened to Barney? I want to know what the hell happened to Barney. There's a lot that I want them to fix with the plot holes, but Half-Life is plot holes. That's the game.
That's how they keep the numbers up, sort of, to 2.
Or maybe if there's I don't know, maybe there's a do not, in case of emergency, do break glass. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's probably like... There's probably a Final Fantasy VII remake. It's Square Enix, but it's like, in case of emergency, break glass.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, but I will finally move on because I'm sure you guys are sick of me, like, doing my nostalgia circle jerking. I purchased Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which is actually, it's a Source Engine game, but it's sort of a hack and slash like Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty neat, though kind of unoptimized. It is pretty linear. It's not really an open world. It's a linear storyline, which is pretty typical of a Source Engine game. But I mean, I enjoy it. The sword play, interesting. It actually you feel more in control of the sword. It's not just hit 1 and hit 2 like in Oblivion. Like, you have to move left and then like charge up an attack to like actually like successfully hit people.
Okay.
You have to you can kick people into like traps. That's neat.
And what was this again?
It's called Dark Messiah of Might and Magic.
Dark Messiah of Might and Magic.
It's a really fun game. Most people who think of Might and Magic, they think of like a sort of role-playing game. Actually, Might and Magic Heroes is a good game, especially 5. Might and Magic Heroes 5, that should be on Steam. Get that if you don't have it. But Dark Messiah is more of an action game. It is an interesting experiment. I mean, I like it. There's even multiplayer for it, which I honestly haven't played myself. But
we can change that.
We should try that out. It's probably going to be disappointing, but whatever.
Yeah, it's worth the experience.
Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, I'd say it's a 6 out of 10 game. I personally enjoy it. A lot of people give it really mixed opinions, which is why there's only 2 other people on my friends list that have the game. Let's see, what else did I get? Daisy Standalone, but I will get back to that in a second. I also bought Rust, which I will also get to in a second. Duke Nukem 3D Megaton Edition. This is practically a must-have if you like old shooter games. Even if you don't like old shooter games, f*** you if you haven't played this game. Oh, I'll bleep that out. No, it's okay if you haven't played this game, but I really recommend getting it because it's cheap and it's worth it for the gags. A title that was gifted to me yesterday was Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. That is it's Far Cry 3 with a sort of an 80s action movie skin with some with the characters. Let's take Archer and turn him into an 80s action movie, and then mix him with Far Cry 3.
You were comparing it to Archer.
Yeah,
that's
Mulatto
interesting.
Bugs. And then Fez, a very interesting indie game where it allows you to switch perspective, switch.
Yeah, that was one I was interested in.
Switch between 2D and 3D, almost like Paper Mario.
Yeah.
In a sense. It's actually pretty neat. I haven't gotten much farther in it. I still need to play it some more before I can give an informed opinion about it. But right now, so far, it's a really cool game. Game Dev Tycoon, which is pretty much just fun. It's a tycoon game. It's exactly what you expect. You're simulating a video game development startup.
Okay.
You get to like make your own game engines. You get to research what game corresponds to which game engine, which traits you should take advantage of. It's pretty interesting. I'm terrible at it because I'm just terrible at most tycoon games except SimCity 4, which is not a tycoon game. But
yeah, it's close.
Well, no, I'm decent at OpenTTD, but Transport Tycoon Demon or Transport Tycoon Deluxe. Yes, Demon. The demon is here. Gravity Badgers, which I just sort of bought on a whim because the name looked cool. I have not installed it yet. Time Warner won't let us have our games very quickly.
No, that's not by any means.
You have to give us a break when we buy all these games and haven't played them yet. It's not because we're not downloading them. I have all this shit in the queue right now. Hey, Time Warner just won't let me have it.
At least you have that issue. Your bank account isn't closed.
That too. We also have technical difficulties. Like I said, I had a bunch of Half-Life Legacy games, Half-Life Blue Shift, Half-Life Opposing Force, Half-Life Source, Half-Life Source Deathmatch. Hard Reset, that's a action game I have not played yet. Once again, Time Warner, Hotline Miami, top-down beat-em-up, freaking cool game. Play it, give the guy money.
Oh wow, that sounds interesting.
If you like 80s anything... Okay, if you liked Vice City and you like top-down beat-em-ups, or not even top-down beat-em-ups, if you like Streets of Rage and Vice City, then play this game. Stop what you're doing. Just go on Steam, buy it. It's $2. It's $2. There's no point in even pirating it. It's $2. You could literally just generate some Litecoins or something and pay for it with, and exchange those and then just pay for it with that, or not Litecoins, Feather Coins. Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod. Get on that. That game is impressive. It's not even developed in house. It's just a mod, but you're given the entire archipelago that Just Cause 2 takes place in.
Oh wow.
You have up to 1,000 player multiplayer battles. It's not even really battles. It's just utter chaos. You can collide planes in midair. You can do whatever the hell you want. You can grapple planes together, which I have done before, and it's absolutely hilarious. There's nothing more satisfying than leaping out of a helicopter, grappling two planes together, and watching them collide in midair.
Wow, that sounds kind of fun.
All by yourself. Get this game. Get Just Cause 2. It's worth the money. The story is decent. Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod. Oh man, hours of fun. You will rarely get bored. If you have someone to play with, you won't get bored. Let's see, what else do I have over here? I bought Max Payne 3, which, I mean, it's Max Payne, pretty much the king of bullet time. I pre-ordered Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance for the computer.
I saw that. That looks interesting.
My body is ready. Hideo Kojima is welcome to do whatever he wants to me any day. Fanboy. I bought the Mountain Blade series. Mountain Blade Warband, Mountain Blade with Fire and Sword. This should be interesting. I see people from Kaz Total and Vine Sauce playing this, and I just get interested. Once again, haven't downloaded yet. I will look. PlanetSide 2 isn't a game that you pay for, but I downloaded it.
I like that. I mean, I'm not a big fan of FPSs, but I did play that a little bit last year. I'm sure it's been updated since, but it was fun while I played it.
Postal 2 complete. Postal 2 is just get it. It's a ridiculous game. It's basically Grand Theft Auto, but you're playing as a game developer. And you can pee on people. End of story. Serious Sam 3, which after playing it for about 30 minutes doing co-op, I literally just played this on the 24th. don't get mad at me. This is not an informed opinion, but Serious Sam 3 does not feel like a Serious Sam game. It feels like Counter-Strike Source, but with more mobility, really fast running, and hordes. Like, it does not feel like a Serious Sam game. It doesn't look like a Serious Sam game either. Like, it looks like Counter-Strike to me. Shadow Warrior, pretty much, this is... Okay, so Shadow Warrior was made by the 3D Realms guys, the old one, but this one is a reimagining, and the guys actually did a pretty good job. I'm 5 hours in. The difficulty is pretty decent. There's sword play, where it's not the best, but if you like gore, if you like just slicing and dicing like demons, you're gonna love this game. Like, it's just absolutely violent. There's blood everywhere. There's cheap gags. There's cheap laughs to be had all over the place. There's terrible puns. Lo Wang is fucking cool. I like Lo Wang. I like him better than Duke Nukem personally, and before I get shot by a bunch of people. Yeah, buy this game. It's like, I think $5 on Steam right now. Oh, Sid Meier's Civilization 5.
That's a good one.
It's something that I sort of been walking around buying for the longest time, but I figured now was time. I also bought Brave New World, but I didn't buy it off of Steam. I got it off of GameFly because it was $7. Pretty darn good deal.
Yeah, I've got to get Brave New World, but I've been looking into it, but I'm more of a Civ guy than I am Age. Now, don't shoot me, but that's just my personal opinion.
I am more of an Age guy. I'm gonna get shot now. Although I did play Civilization 1. Get off my case. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform!
I was waiting for it.
It's basically a more difficult Mario Kart with BD Joe. He plays BD Joe from Crazy Taxi. End of story.
I know. Oh, God, I love Crazy Taxi.
I love Crazy Taxi. And actually,
we should play that a little later.
We should. Listen to more the I forget what that band is who did a few songs for Crazy Taxi. Yeah. The Offspring.
Yes, the Offspring.
Yeah. I just, someone just told me what their name was, a couple weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't remember, but I had the songs, but they were, track1.wma that I got, off of LimeWire, 8 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. It's Mario Kart with less useful items.
Gotcha. Yeah, I actually bought that. I haven't downloaded. I downloaded it. I haven't played it yet, but it looked interesting from what I did see of the gameplay footage. It
was free for a weekend too. I was playing it with a few people, and I decided, you know what, fuck it, I'll just buy it. Yeah, pretty. I'm a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
7 out of 10 for a card game. I have the Strike Suit series. I am personally a fan of just mecha anything, Gundam, IGPX.
Yeah, you've always been a Gundam guy.
Yeah, I've always been a Gundam guy. I'm such a Gundam whore. Let me just go stick some Gundam models up my bunghole. And Strike Suit though, I've heard very good things about it. Just and the past few years. Not even a few years, just the past 10 years, I think there really hasn't been anything mecha in terms of games that has been satisfying. I think the last good mecha game I played was Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. This is it's worth it. I don't know how much the non-sale price is. I think it's $20 for each, but don't quote me on that. I got it when they were $5 each.
Not bad.
So, not bad. Super Hexagon. I actually bought this because it was 29 cents. I haven't played it yet. I also bought several copies and gave someone. I bought Jacob this. Yeah, because it was 29 cents. Because I'm a cheapskate, but I'm trying to save up for certain things. I got Team Fortress Classic with the Half-Life collection.
There you go.
And I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, XCOM Enemy Unknown was gifted to me. That's going to be fun.
I have not played it yet, but I have had that for a while. I've yet to play it. I'm kind of intimidated because I hear it's really bad. Not bad. I'm sorry. Really, really hard.
Really difficult.
I hear it's good, but it's difficult. Yeah.
And then to top everything off, well, not everything, because I still have to talk about Rust and Daisy. Zigfrack, which seems like a space shooter type of thing, but I haven't played it yet. Once again, Time Warner. Okay. Now, Daisy and Rust I skipped because they are technically open betas, but they're open betas that you have to pay for, which sort of throws me back to like the time of when Minecraft was in alpha.
Yeah.
Now, something that I personally find it controversial that it's both good and bad. It feels like a sort of dice roll because you're putting money into the thing and you're like getting a guarantee of, okay, you'll have access to this forever,
right?
Because you paid for it up front and supported our development. But then like you could like there's gonna be more developers doing that, and then you can't guarantee that like a game is gonna survive that. You can't guarantee it's going to survive the development cycle.
That's
It could
true.
be just like Warzy. It could be just like it where the developer just ends up scamming everyone, and then it gets taken down, and then everybody loses their money.
There's also the possibility that it could turn people away from it if there's a lot of things that aren't included yet, but maybe they have yet to be implemented. It could turn some people off of actually playing the game.
Yeah, and if you get it into the hands of more or less understanding people who just shit all over it without actually understanding the fact that they just did an overhaul and got rid of everything so that they could rebuild from the ground up a la DayZ, then you're gonna spark some pretty bad reviews. Now, DayZ, I guess I'll start with DayZ instead of Rust. DayZ, standalone, you can still tell that it's got the Arma 2 roots in it.
Okay.
The movement is very much the same. You've got your three mode sort of movement. You got your standing, you got your prone, and then you got your completely on the or you got your standing, crouched, and then prone.
Okay.
That's common to DayZ.
Right.
Pretty similar movement. You can peek around corners. They redesigned the inventory system though. It's more of a sort of square grid based, like kind of like Resident Evil.
Oh yeah.
And also they sort of changed how backpacks work. They took out certain things like the fact you can't open people's backpacks for them and get stuff out of there. So teamwork is going to be a little more difficult, especially.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid of right now. There's a bug where if you put stuff on the ground will just eat it.
Really?
So so that in combination with not being able to access each other's backpacks is a little bit of a pain in the ass. That's I can't wait for them to work that bug out. What else? The funny thing is the zombies remain largely the same, even though the models are changed slightly. They've kept the same sounds. They got the same funny zombie noises. It's yeah, don't even get me started about that. Weapons. There are barely any weapons. They scrapped all the Arma 2 weapons. So right now we're pretty much down to a few pistols, the M4, the Mosinnagant, and supposedly there is an SKS coming around the corner.
Well,
but
it kind of adds to like the survival factor too. You could say. You could argue.
It does sort of. I have to say that most of the highlights of me playing mod DayZ were pretty much getting ridiculous weapons and trolling people.
That's funny.
With them. I mean, it's still possible to troll, but that's another thing. Vehicles, no vehicles standalone. It's back to basics. Not even a damn car. So that's a thing. If you're gonna miss the flying the vehicles from DayZ, don't jump in yet. Wait for them to add some. I mean, there are still enough people playing mod DayZ. In fact, I pop in every once in a while, but because my friends on the internet aren't really playing the mod version anymore, they're playing standalone primarily, I have to go and play standalone. But personally, I would be playing mod DayZ right now if my friends were playing it. I like playing with the weapons. I like having the
You were always more of a sandbox guy.
I am more of a sandbox guy. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't enjoy Daisy standalone. I mean, it's just that it is still an, I don't even know if it's an alpha or beta. I think it's still an alpha technically.
So there's a lot of potential there still.
Yeah, there is potential. I mean, there are improvements. The textures don't look like total shit anymore, which is totally welcome, because Arma 2 is like the ugliest game on the planet, even at maximum settings.
Wow.
No, it's really bad. Like,
when did that come out? I might as
well be playing like Battlefield 2 on lowest. Arma 2 came out in like 2009, I think.
Really? And it's that bad looking?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Huh.
I think I'll have to like show you. It's really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't experienced it for myself, so
it's pretty bad. But Daisy, I mean, whatever. It's Daisy. If you really want to get realistic, you could say, oh, it's not like there's gonna be like frickin' XM8s just hanging around everywhere for you to grab. Like, and that's true. Like, you're gonna see like civilian firearms. You're gonna see like, if we had a zombie apocalypse right here where we live, we would see AR-15s. We would see maybe an AKM or two, depending on if we got any Kalashnikov fanboys here. Also, bless his soul, dude's off to another place. Yeah, Kalashnikov died like a few days ago.
Oh.
So yeah, Viva la Revolution. But I mean, they're going in the right direction. Total overhaul was in order anyway. I just wish they would have started that sooner, so that this would have been a more complete product by the time they put it on Steam. But
it can't be worse than War Z, though. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, War Z. Just look it up on YouTube and you can see just everything. Rust is a survival sort of strategy. Not really strategy. It's survival action strategy crafting sandboxy thing by Facepunch Studios, the guys who did Gary's mod. Now Rust, from the moment you start the game up, you can see, oh, you got a Gary's mod-esque looking like interface in there, so you think, oh, I'm gonna be able to press Q and like spawn like Dr. Mossman faces and shit. But it's actually it's more bare bones than Minecraft in that you're a naked man running around in a irradiated forest.
Wow, that sounds kind of interesting.
It's about as bare bones as like a sort of survival can get. From the get go, you don't even have like full hunger or whatever you want to call it, full sated hunger. Like, you're started off at like 70%. And then constantly going down. You're given a rock. You have to start off with a rock. So basically, it's kind of like Minecraft in that you start punching trees, but you're punching trees with a rock. And then you can make a hatchet, and you can like get the wood faster. That can be interpreted however you want to. Okay.
You're running around as a half-naked man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Now, the experience that you have with this game is going to be entirely dependent on what server you're playing it on, because there are PvP servers, there are non-PvP servers, there are edited servers that have like increased loot rates and whatnot. I would say for a total beginner who's like easily frustrated, start off with the high loot, no PvP servers. Actually, because I'm total fucking pansy, most of the time I go into those servers because I just want to like mind my own fucking business and build my stupid home.
Oh yeah.
Now, if I really felt like being punished by like all of the kids in like Brazil that are playing this game, I would go into a PvP server. Actually, I would go into an actual official server.
Oh, okay.
If I want to totally punish myself. Now, I'm going to get shat all over because I don't enjoy overcomplicating the shit out of everything by a bunch of 15-year-olds. Yeah, some of us have these things called jobs in school, and it's not necessarily enjoyable to have to throw all of your shit away after going through all the trouble of doing it. There are some days where I do feel like that, and I will happily join another server, but if I'm not feeling that way, I'm going to go on a non-PvP server so I can mind my own business.
Well, that's why they're there.
That is why they're there. Yeah, kiss my ass. But Rust, I like where it's going. In fact, I'm more confident in the way and where Rust is at right now than I am with Daisy, personally.
Okay.
I do enjoy Rust. If anything, my only real complaint right now, other than 1999, that's more than Gary's mod. My only real complaint is that by far this is the most fucking unoptimized Unity 3D engine game I've ever played. It's an engine that's designed to have games run on a phone, and yet it runs like shit. I don't understand. Help me understand how you make this game run like absolute crap, regardless of what settings you put it on. Like, I can put it on high settings, I can put it on low settings, I still get the same, like, around 30-ish frame rates. It's absolute bullshit. I should be Okay, there are plenty of games that use Unity 3D. I'm sorry, I have to go on, like, a rant 30 right now.
It's okay.
You have, like, Shadowgun, you have Dead Trigger. All these games look better than Rust, but they run on my phone. Whereas Rust, I can run it at, like, not even highest resolution, and I'm still, like, struggling to get 60 frames per second on a Core i7 740QM and a Radeon Mobility 5870. That's pretty ridiculous. Now, everyone, all of you people in the comments section, chill, because yes, I am aware that it is still in development, but I'm just wondering what they did. I'm going to, like, ask them, how did you manage to get Unity 3D to bog down a desktop or a souped up laptop computer?
Jeez.
How did you do that? Because I want to know. I want to know exactly how much they added on the back end to make it do that. Rant over.
So
let's move on to Battlefield.
Before we move on, I just want to say I do have a couple of games from my from what I was playing and on the PC while we're on that topic.
Oh, sure.
Before the holiday sale went out, I did manage to buy a Fallout pack that was, I think it came with like 1, 2, and there's like a Fallout Tactics?
Yeah, 1, 2, and Tactics. And probably I think it came with Brotherhood of Steel as well.
It might have, but that was only $5. That was pretty cool. I didn't play it yet. Don't hate. The Stanley Parable, that's one I've been playing. I've been on that one for a little while. That's an interesting game. It's really hard to put it in any one genre. Basically, it's even hard to explain what's going on without spoiling the whole thing. But you are a man named Stanley, and you control him, WASD and all that. But it's up to you whether to follow the rules of the game or to play your way, and there are multiple different endings. I mean, the main game is like literally a half hour long, but with so many branching endings, you could sit there for hours on end just trying to find different endings and get different reactions out of the voiceover guy. What else? I was interested in
That sounded like fun.
It is. It's definitely fun. I don't know. It's kind of bugs me though because when it gets down to it.
I was never good at recursion. With coding.
Yeah, but when it gets down to it, you're still restricted to the rules of what you're told to do. There's only so much you can do. But I mean, that's just a minor complaint. I was kind of curious to this Train Simulator 2014. I was just in the holiday spirit, and it was the only thing that looked like I had anything with Christmas, so I bought a holiday train set thing. I don't know, it was like $5 or not even. And that was pretty interesting, but I didn't have the patience to play through it too much. Definitely a strategic game. I thought it was like more of a, hey, it's just going to be a desktop screensaver or something, but it's definitely not. And then, this isn't related to Steam, but I have been playing Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. I don't know if you guys probably know it. It's the re-released Final Fantasy XIV, and recently they had a second patch that came out. It allowed for housing at an extreme cost, though. I think they were trying to fix that. I think like the cheapest one is 4 million gil. They added PvP. That was a major thing.
Final Fantasy VII.
Gillionaire.
Yep.
They added PvP. That was a major aspect. It's a 4v4 sort of system. There's no PvP out in the world. That was kind of against how whoever the creator is there. I don't know who's overseeing the whole project. It was against how they wanted it to run, but there are like sort of battlegrounds if you're familiar with WoW, 4v4 sort of style, but with there are three different factions you can be, and then there was another thing they added, but I can't really recall But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been kind of delving a little bit into that. Other than that, you said you wanted to check out the you wanted to talk about the Battlefield 4.
The EA class action lawsuit, aka ExxonMobil spills stuff in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's go.
Oh man, EA is in a mess right now, and they have been for about the past year, ever since that SimCity mess they created. So what? Basically what happened was EA released Battlefield 4, and it was kind of a given that there was going to be some server errors. It was a really popular game. There's going to be a little bit of an overload, but it just kept going on, and so they halted the digital sales, I believe it was, so that it kind of like the sales just kind of festered out. They kind of petered out, so that made they made sales drop, and stockholders were losing out on a lot of money. So what they did was they artificially inflated the sales so that people inside the business, like executives and whatnot, could sell their shares for more money, and then it just dropped instantly, and then that caused a giant lawsuit, and now they're denying it. So
yeah, EA is definitely the ExxonMobil of the video game industry.
Yeah. It's definitely hard for them to deny it, especially with their bad business history in the past year or so.
Oh yeah, Electronic Arts has ruined everything good, especially something by the name of Maxis. God rest its soul.
God rest its soul.
God rest its soul.
Yeah. So yeah, that's happening. I think that's still currently in progress, so we won't have much word on that yet. What do we have next on the agenda?
We have Nintendo, which is you.
Nintendo. Oh yes, I wanted to talk about two major releases. As you know, Nintendo released a new Legend of Zelda game in the series. It's Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, which is kind of like a sequel, but not exactly as you would think, to A Link to the Past. It's an offshoot. Yeah, that's the word you used last time. I was trying to think of that. It takes place in the same world, but it's not a direct sequel because it's not the same characters. There's definitely different mechanics. Obviously, Link to the Past, 15 years old at least.
Yeah.
So it's nice though, and it's very different. Basically, what a lot of reviews I've said, or I've watched, I've personally played the game too, and I can agree that they've improved upon what was good and just cut out the bullshit of previous Zelda games. It's extremely non-linear, surprisingly, because what they do is they give you
you can access any of the dungeons from the beginning.
Exactly.
And you can complete them in pretty much any order, although it's easier to do.
Which might seem weird until you realize they give you every weapon right off the bat, and you can rent them, which makes rupees very important, because every time you die, you return those weapons, and then you have an option to buy them for 1,000% of the price, or some crazy number like that. So every rupee you get is going to be extremely important. You're going to want to go out of your way to collect those, and you're going to try to want to avoid dying too, because you'll lose out on that. Extremely non-linear, which is fantastic. Very different approach to the Legend of Zelda series. And then we have word of a new Legend of Zelda game, Hyrule Warriors. It's actually not an actual mainstream Legend of Zelda game. It's more of a hack and slash that Nintendo didn't really reveal too much upon, but that looked pretty interesting. I guess that's going to be a Wii U title coming up next year at some point, later next year. But then I'm going to shift from the 3DS to the Wii U. The newest Mario game you might have heard is 3D World, Super Mario Land, Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. Kind of like it's like a reboot of 3D Land. And personally, I didn't like 3D Land so much, but I decided to give 3D World a whirl. This sounded weird.
3D puns.
Actually, I liked it a lot better. It kind of got rid of all the stupid things, because 3D Land had a timer, which I was never too fond of in 3D games. But
excuse me.
3D World plays more of the mechanics with a 2D Mario game, where it's a little more linear. In 3D Land it was, but there was something that irked me about it. I don't know, maybe it was just the limitations of the 3DS. But 3D World definitely is an improvement. If you were on the fence about getting it because of maybe a past experience, not saying 3D Land was bad by any means, but
limited by the hardware.
Yeah, exactly. 3D World is definitely one you're going to want to get because it's just shy of being the quality of a Super Mario Galaxy game, but it's definitely up there. It's the next best thing you're going to get.
Actually, that's most reviewers do say that it's pretty much the best 3D Mario game since Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
That's what the sort of unanimous opinion is.
Definitely. I did get Super Mario Galaxy 2 for Christmas. I got to try that out at some point. I beat 1. I want to get through 2.
I'm looking at it right here.
Look at that. Yep. All right.
I think that's everything.
That,
we sort of condensed that. How are we doing with time?
We are on almost an hour, so we can wrap it up now.
Thanks for listening. We're actually looking at making this a live thing on Twitch.
Yep, at some point.
At some point, we're still exploring our options. We're still figuring this out. Thanks for being patient with us.
Definitely, we appreciate your time of getting this far. If you have, I commend you for your efforts.
And if you're listening to, and you get bonus points if you're listening to this while you're in the car.
Anyway, this is PorkchopSandwich.es. We're going to try and make this a weekly podcast, probably try for Thursdays. I'm at Awkward Mage. You can find us on Twitter. I'm at Awkward Mage. This is at Porkchop's Tweets.
And at Porkchop's. That's at Porkchop's Tweets is the actual PorkchopSandwich.es Twitter. I'm Amir Lampe, owner. And my Twitter account is PorkchopSandwiches. Yes, I know. Hindsight is 2020. I'll put it in the. We'll
put that in text
in the description, because you have to spell it a specific way. I don't know. That's everything. Thanks for listening, watching. If you're on YouTube, thanks for watching. If you're on our website, thanks for listening. Either way.
And this is before the New Year's. It's a little after Christmas, so we're gonna say Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Happy
hope
Holidays.
It makes it.
Blanket statement.
All right.
Just shove it under the rug.
All right. Thanks for watching.